Mic's on?
Yep.
Excellent. I'm going to call the meeting to order. We're going to convene with our meeting, and the minutes have gone around, so do I have a motion to sign off on the minutes and close those out from the last few meetings that we've had to sign off on?
Motion.
Second.
Excellent. So we are now convening. Make sure everybody signs those minutes. We're going to convene the meeting. Do you have?
We're good.
Did you have something to say? We're good. Okay, perfect.
Take a vote.
Yes. Yep, I'm getting there. Sorry. I'm trying to take my glasses off. My eyes are a little wonky today. So we're going to take a vote on those minutes. Do I get a? I'm going to vote. Do I get a second?
Second.
Excellent. We're going to close those out. Meeting minutes have,
All in favor.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I'm
Aye.
going to abstain because I was only on one, so I'll
Yep.
approve one, but not the other two.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so we did those, just in case everybody, for the record, it's April, May emergency meeting and June emergency meeting minutes. So those are now closed out. The second topic on the agenda is to sign Recreation Commission bylaws. Woo-hoo. Those are finally done.
A lot of hard work.
Amazing. Thank you. So we will, making it official.
Did you guys already make a motion on this before?
Yeah, we recommended it, and you guys
It's
voted on
24.
it.
Select board approved them, yeah.
I didn't know if you guys needed to also adopt them,
We voted to,
Yep.
to recommend them. Did you guys vote to adopt them now? If not, I'm going to make a motion that you guys adopt those now.
I'm making a motion to adopt those minutes now.
Second.
All in favor?
All in,
Aye.
I had to think about that from the last
Just
meeting, if
keeping
we
you
did
guys
that or
legit.
not. Yeah. I'm glad Bob is here, because I couldn't remember offhand. All right, so those are gonna go around. While those are being signed, I'm gonna move on to the next agenda piece, only because we have a lengthy agenda tonight, lots of good stuff going on here. Tonight, we actually have the chair yoga group here, and we're gonna allow the folks that are in the room to stand up and speak. If you could come to the mic, announce, yes, please. It should be on. If you could state your name and where you're from, please.
The one over here.
Oh, I guess it's the podium.
Podium.
one. Okay, sorry about that. Plus, it's a nice podium.
my name is Cheryl Rossman. I'm a resident of Brentwood, New Hampshire.
That was,
I am the chair yoga instructor at the Brentwood Rec, as well as I teach 7 classes a week in other parks and recs departments and at a library. I'm an ERYT 500, which means I'm an experienced registered yoga teacher with 500 hours plus of training, and I have taught 4,750 hours of yoga, give or take, to date. I'm here to talk about the program and some changes that are pending. So it's taken me about 12 years to build my community class in this town. If too much time goes by before coming to a decision, participants that are not coming to class may not return. The change, I know, can be challenging, and talking about money is uncomfortable. It is hard to put a price on valuable practice that is beneficial to the community. Our class has been free to the community since its inception. My daughter started the program when Margaret was here. I took it over from her. I've worked with David, Andy, and Jason, and the former director who's no longer with us. We work diligently on strength, bone building, balance, as well as building community through socialization. And we share things that are going on in our communities, events that others in the class might like to go to. If there's a luncheon at in Kingston, or if there's a luncheon at the Baptist Church, the First Baptist Church, or the luncheon that's in Brentwood, we talk about the bingos and other things like that. And timing is everything as far as I'm concerned. I was a little disappointed when the former director, Nick, decided to make major changes to the class for our community while I was on vacation. So quite frankly, without any discussion with me, who is the instructor, I did look back at minutes from this board meeting from January to the present board meetings, and I did not find any discussion around the community chair yoga class and possible changes to it. Now, I may have missed it, but I didn't actually see anything where he came to the board and said, hey, this is what I think I want to do. One thing that continues to come up in the discussions that I've had with both Nick and Jason and the participants in our class, that there was an approved 2026 budget. Jason kindly explained to me a lot about what that budget has to do with. And I totally understand that, but I've always received a stipend from the town, and I'm assuming it's coming from the revolving account that the town has for the Brentwood Rec Department. No charge has ever been made to participants in the past, no talk even of charges. And so I'm just wondering what was the change, in regard to all of a sudden, now we're going to be charging for the class. Nick had some meetings with community members. He had some here, he had someone after class one day. I'm being totally transparent with you. I was not at any of the meetings, so all of the information that I have is secondhand. Many in the group thought that thought it was said that people who are currently participants in our class would pay the town rate regardless of where they lived, and referred to this as being grandfathered in. So apparently there was a discussion and they talked about this because Nick came up with two different prices for people who are in the town and people who are not in the town. Nick told people that there would be a drop-in rate, and I was CC'd on one email regarding that. But while I am unclear on how this would work exactly, and he did say it, but nothing is in place for that. So I do have people that no longer come to the class because, and I'll get to that. I don't want to jump the gun here. And I also had heard that couples should be given some sort of a discount, as if you would give a sibling discount to a family. I was told that Nick said flat out no to this. So, and then the other thing that was said, if you pay for the session, there would be no refunds for classes missed. Okay, so I'll also address that. What I'd like to do right now is to just give you some of the testimonial things that people wrote into me. I'm not going to read everything that I put in front of all of you, but you will have, I did give you the whole thing, so if you can look at it, you can look at it. But I have, and I did tell the people that I wouldn't use names and I wouldn't forward their emails just for privacy. I am a heart patient with other health conditions. You and your teachings have been a blessing to me and the Brentwood community. With all the recent sudden changes, I see this as a breakup of the community spirit that used to be, by not charging everyone the same. One of the biggest changes for me is that my balance has improved to the point where I no longer walk with a cane since I had both of my knees replaced. I also feel I can get out of the chair without pushing myself up with my arms. My doctor was very pleased with both of these improvements. I have an inner ear damage and walking issues and went to my PCP for an appointment. She suggested I find a place to get structured exercise. I mentioned to my PCP and the Exeter Hospital PT program that I was going to yoga, and they were both very pleased. My neurologist asked me what I was doing. My walking and balance were so much better. My primary doctor said that my movement and range of motion are so much better. Keep doing what I was doing. Physical therapists are so pleased that I was doing that as it that, meaning chair yoga, as it would benefit me greatly. Also, my primary physician is pleased that I attend for my overall health. As we become older, we don't have as many exercises that we can do, and chair yoga happens to be one of them. I have been sick for 2 weeks, so this person was addressing the fact that they've been sick for 2 weeks, and so we'll also address that. My minimal Social Security check doesn't allow me any additional funds to pay for my yoga class. Would it be possible to come in for a class here and there and just pay for that class? And then this is something that someone wrote to Nick, and they shared it with me. This is very disappointing, especially for seniors who are on a limited income. However, now you want us to pay in advance, upfront total amount. So if we miss a class, say due to health reasons, we are out of that money. I feel in fairness, it would be appropriate to have us pay per class. So those were the testimonials from people. And then just some of my concerns as being the instructor. And again, I'll just reiterate that it took many years to build the class. It's been an ongoing class for 12 plus years. The consistent class size up until the end of May was 22 to 25 participants. My classes as of June, we've gone through 3 classes. I've had 10 people, I've had 9 people, and I've had 6 people. Brentwood has limited senior programming. Class is a source for socialization for a lot of these people that come to class. Some of the seniors are on fixed income, and 12 weeks is too long of a commitment. And Jason and I, we talked about this, and we were kind of batting around some things, and he did ask me to just try and get through, the 12 weeks that have been set in place. But again, I still feel like if I go through the whole summer, I've gone from 22. My class has been cut in less than half. If we continue at where we are, and then my thoughts on the cost. I don't think there should be a resident versus a non-resident. I know that other towns do this, but we aren't other towns. We get a lot of people from Raymond and Epping and Fremont who come to my classes because their towns don't have any programming. At least we have a little bit. So I've been building the class in that way as well. I think we should really take a hard look at couples. If we are going to charge, that we should really look at a couple rate. We're going to charge, there definitely has to be a drop-in rate. There is someone in this class who has, in this meeting, who has taken my other classes as drop-in. And it becomes beneficial to people who, when they have a busy schedule, and they could drop in and they don't have to worry about paying a whole lot of money up front and then potentially losing that money. We need to consider, if we are charging people, we need to consider if the instructor is ill, if the instructor needs some time off. We also have to consider if the participant is ill. So, I have someone right now that she paid her money. She probably paid it faster than I wanted her to. She just, she didn't even think twice about it, and she's been sick since. So she's missed the 3 classes. She is someone who does have a lot of health issues. And so, I feel bad because now she paid the money and she's sick. And she probably will miss about half of the session if we keep it at the 12-week. And then we also have to consider weather. So when I was working in conjunction with the rec, but saying, I would tell people ahead of time, hey, I'm going up to, and this is happening next week, I'm going up to Vermont because my granddaughter is off, and so I'm going to be with her, so there is no class. And it just kind of worked okay. People said great, and there was no big issue. But now if we're charging people and we're charging them for an extended amount of time, that doesn't give me flexibility anymore. And we also shouldn't charge people if I'm not going to be there to teach the class. So with weather, we have to think about that, and Jason's been great, because I know that during camp, campers come first, and so, in the past, we've had class here, but the class has grown so large that this isn't enough space anymore, so he did secure Austin 17 house for us if it rains, so we're very appreciative for that we do have some place to practice if there is weather. And then in closing, of course, I numbered all my pages and now they're all mixed up. Because that could just happen to anybody, right? So just in closing, based on the budget information that I have and I have seen, I just wanted to mention that my yearly stipend is more than covered for the entire year of 2026 by the June salary that is not being paid to the former director. And we're at the end of the month, and I don't know if you have a new director yet, and I may be overstepping my bounds here, but it pays my stipend, and there's money left over, a lot of it. Jason and I have had many email exchanges about some solutions that could be possible for this, but it is my hope that we could come up with a solution sooner rather than later, and if we could, maybe keep it for free, that would be the best thing for everybody, but if there has to be a charge, I hope you will consider how we're gonna go forward with that. And I just thank you all very much for your time. I appreciate the chance to be able to speak to you on behalf of, you can see that I have a lot of class members here that could make it tonight, so the program is important. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl, for speaking tonight and sharing about chair yoga and all the different components. For me personally, I kind of want to hear a little bit from Jason on how we've all been working with all of this. I personally am just gonna make my own comment, and I'd like to hear from the board members as well. I know for you, because we've gone back and forth on email as well, for timing, that we don't want to wait too long. Obviously, recreation has a lot going on right now. Looking for a new rec director. That doesn't mean that something can't be put into play before then. But for me personally, as the chair of the board, I'd like to hear what the other members think, but I think it's something that we need to discuss and kind of come up with a game plan before making any form of a decision. So I'm open to hear from what Jason has to say and anybody else on this board. It's definitely not something that we can rush and make a decision tonight, but I definitely think that we should maneuver fairly quickly because I don't want to see anything fizzle out of it. I think it's amazing that we do have something for the, and I don't like to call them seniors, I like to say young at heart. Everybody's got to keep moving and they got to keep their bones going, and I love that everybody comes to it and does it. So I'm going to let Jason speak a little bit on this, and then if there's any other board members have something to say.
So one of I kind of briefly spoke with Cheryl a little bit about this. I think I brought it up to you, Julie. One of the leading ideas that I had to try to find a middle ground on all of this was potentially introducing a punch card system to the department, which would take effect across all of our different senior programs. This would allow the flexibility of participants to kind of choose when and where they want to be. It allows our instructors to have the flexibility of canceling class, moving classes around. It would be basically a drop-in program. There would be an upfront cost to the card, but after that point, it's up to each participant to which class or program they want to show up to. It would require us as a department and a board to kind of come up with a price per card per punch that would cover the cost of X amount of programs that we offer. So we'd have to be prepared to look at different programs that we offer for the seniors here in town. And figure out what that best price point would be. They're reasonably affordable. It doesn't cost us a lot to get this kind of started up and going. But that's kind of something that a lot of bigger towns and cities, they use in a lot of their programming, and it seems to work well for that. So this might be a nice little middle ground I know Nick's big thing for making a charge on the program was to try to make every program fund itself. Our luncheons here in town and chair yoga were the only two classes that are programs that were 100% subsidized by the department, meaning that like another program or sport would pay for that cost. So Nick's efforts was to try to make it so each program was self-sufficient. So that was the one idea that I kind of had as a potential solution, but I'm very open to other ideas if the board has other ideas.
From the select board, I'm gonna let you guys know, we did extend an offer to somebody for rec director. They have until Friday to make a decision what's going on and when their start date is, so that is pending. So we did make an offer. It was tentatively accepted, but he needed to talk to his current employer and come up with a date. And he wanted to talk to his girlfriend slash fiance, which I respected, to have a chat with them on that first. It is a change, so whenever you're making a change, you should talk to your significant other.
Yep.
Part of being mature, right? I learned that a long time ago. I said, I do, yes dear, victim of circumstance, happy wife, happy life. So I respect him for doing that. So hopefully we'll have an answer for you guys next time we meet.
Okay, very good. Does anybody have anything, what do you think about, I talked to Jason in regards to the punch cards. I thought that that might be an opportunity. But does anybody else have anything to say in regards to that?
I just want to add that I really appreciate what you all are facing. The rec department is moving towards a model where our programs are self-funding. And unfortunately, the programs are more than just the cost of the stipend. I mean, it's the facility and Jason's salary and heat. And so we're looking at all our programs. That's why Nick came to us and said that he wanted to start charging for the programs. And I get like that people are from other towns and that they don't have programs in their town, but Brentwood taxpayers are subsidizing the programs because they subsidize us. And that means that Brentwood taxpayers are paying for these programs and people from other towns aren't contributing to it. So I understand why Nick gave us this two-tier for the residents and the non-residents. I'm also work with welfare, so I understand what seniors are facing. I work with seniors on a regular basis, and I certainly don't want to make your lives any more difficult with the expenses. I made a couple notes as you were talking. I think grandfathering people who are existing in the program, it might be a good compromise for people who are from outside of town, and then upping it for new resident or new applicants. And then the other thing is, I know I work to get scholarship money for the camps for the kids. Jason, have you done anything to look for someone who would sponsor the program that might allow you to offer scholarships but also cover the costs?
I haven't looked for sponsors for the programs, but I have been looking at grants in the area. I know the Exeter Hospital offers programs for senior programming and stuff like that, and I have begun reaching out to.
Because I think that would make a difference if we could get, and I know we have several sponsors who are lined up. We just got to go over the finish line to get that money. So I certainly would support subsidizing it if we can find someone, especially if people have a need that we can help pay for it. But ultimately, we do have to pay for the program, so.
If I
vote yes.
You can come up, if you can just come up to the podium again, that'd be great, thanks.
could I correct something real quick?
Oh, and yeah, go ahead,
I
Jason.
just want to do one quick correction, Laura. In the past, the chair yoga program has been funded out of the revolving account, so it's not taxpayer dollars, but it may be non-resident.
But it's still part of our budget, and so we're trying to.
It's slightly separate. It's not taxpayer.
But they're not paying into the rec. I mean, they're not paying into the,
Revolving-
because
they
if
might
you're
be.
not charging for the program, there's nothing going into the revolving account.
Well, yeah, but them directly are not. But there might be non-residents who are paying for that program.
But if it's free, they're not.
Correct. These people are not correct.
Right.
So I'm saying there might be other non-residents who are, because it's subsidized through other programming. It's not through our budget that program is spent.
So where are they paying for it?
Out of our revolving account, which is just program fees.
Which fees are they paying?
Well, it could be soccer. It could be flag, I mean, it could be any of the sort of thing. So it may not be specifically them.
It's just the wording thing,
Yeah,
I
I'm
understand.
just
what
saying,
you're
I
both
just wanted to specify
Yeah.
that it could be non-residents who are helping. fund this.
I'd like to hear more from Cheryl, just because I will say, Cheryl, sorry to keep you up there. My name's Jim McIntyre, I'm the
Yeah.
vice chair. The one thing that was concerning to me is that some decisions were made when you weren't around. And I kind of feel like that's not valuing what you've done through the years. So this is kind of the first I'm hearing of this, and I just want to let you know, like, I'm a huge yoga fan, and I respect your time, and I definitely want to hear your concerns, and the fact that people are coming here. Are everyone from Brentwood that's here, or somebody? It doesn't matter, okay, but we love what she's doing, so you have the floor.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to, when Jason had said about grants, I did want to let you know that I teach a class at 277 Water Street in Exeter. It's the Housing Authority, and that, my stipend comes from a grant from the Exeter Hospital. So I just wanted to tell you that, you know, Exeter got the money. There potentially is more money, particularly when you say that it is for senior programming to keep seniors healthy. I think, you know, I don't know when grants, I've never written a grant or anything, or when they like go out or anything like that, or if you have to be by a certain date. But I just wanted, that was all I wanted to tell you, was that I could have done this not at the meeting, but I just want to tell you that Exeter Hospital does have grant money.
Oh, good, awesome.
And maybe Cheryl, before you sit down, I just had a quick question for you.
Yes.
So I've actually taken your Yoga for You
Yes.
classes when I moved to Brentwood in October and
Right.
over the winter, and they're excellent.
Thank
excellent
you.
Classes.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I wanted to make sure I had the numbers right. So was the cost being asked for the 12-week program, I think at one point we heard was $25? Is that?
It was $25 for residents and
Okay.
$50 for non-residents. And I'm just gonna make sure with Jason that those numbers were
Those are
were
correct.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. You mentioned you have classes at 7 or so others.
Mhm.
What, I think from what we were told was those others were significantly more expensive.
No, I don't,
so-
I don't know. I teach at the Kingston Library.
Okay.
And so maybe this is significantly more. It's a $5 donation. And the library pays me regardless of how many people come to the class. I get my stipend. And the library does not expect everybody to make a donation. They hope that people will, but at the end of the day, I give them back the jar that the money's collected in. I never touch the money. I hand it to the librarian on duty, and I tell her how many people were in class.
Okay.
So there could be 10 people in class and $20 in the jar. I have no idea, but the library's not concerned about that. My class size there is anywhere from 10 to 15 people that come into. Sometimes we have to close the door because we're to capacity.
Okay.
I teach at the Exeter Rec. So the Exeter Rec, Park and Recs, I teach 2 chair classes there at their new facility. Part of my pay in the stipend also comes from grant money, I believe. So I get paid very well in Exeter, not that it's anybody's business, but the people do not pay. So I get paid, but it's not the money that's coming in.
Yeah, I
So
was thinking about the
so-
cost for the.
yeah, so the
attendees.
participants in Exeter, if you're an Exeter resident, I believe it's $22.50 for 6 weeks, and it's $45 for non-resident for 6 weeks. But it's
Okay.
we just can't compare. It's not apples to apples.
Got it.
I get paid very well in Exeter. In all my other places, I don't really, but that's why I teach in the community settings, and I'm not in the studio. It was never my intention to be making money off of teaching. I'm teaching because I'm sharing it with people. I do volunteer classes. I do a lot of things in the community. So that's why it's really hard and uncomfortable for me to talk about the money part, but it does help to pay the bills, but it's not like in other places, it would be much more money.
Absolutely. And I think that's helpful just for us to understand what other chair yogas in the area
Yeah.
are doing, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, now at 277 Water Street, they come free because they have a total grant from the hospital to cover. They asked me what I would charge for the class. I told them, they wrote up a grant, and the hospital gave them the money, and they now pay me monthly. They wanted to pay me right up front, and again, I said, well, what about weather? What about if I'm not gonna be here? So I'm like thinking about, their money too, so it's not just, so.
And Cheryl, you said that the class drop, numbers drop is what's is definitely concerning to me. When you said May 22 to 25, and in June, 10, 9, and 6, you believe that's strictly because of the dollar?
Oh, I know it is.
It is. Okay, so if it's all right with everyone here, I just would like to say the board is going to definitely discuss this. I don't think this is a good forum for everybody to be sharing ideas, because you people will be here for hours. I'm just straight up telling you, but I think you have all of our attention, and I would venture to say commitment to say we're gonna try to work out a solution. And I'll just tell you where I'm coming at is we want to try and do something so that the 22 people that you normally have aren't missing 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks and all of a sudden falling off your radar. So whatever we can do, temporary solution, are you open to working to achieve something that can meet somewhere in the middle? It sounds like you are. I don't know if you people are, but I'm hoping, but are we willing to do something? And does Jason know what that something might be? Like, that's all I would say. If we know there's grounds to find something in the middle, then we can all talk and be like, hey, how can we try to make people happy and healthy?
Yeah, I appreciate that, because really 12 weeks, so we only got through 3 weeks, and I've dropped off more than half.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I'm not a math whiz, but I mean, you can all see the difference, and I had 5 people just outright come up to me and say, goodbye, thank you, we love you, but we can't come back.
So are
So-
you in your 3-week mark right now of
So
the
we
12
just
weeks?
we just finished it, yeah, so, and then
Okay.
the 4th week would be next week, and
okay.
I'm not here, so everybody in class knows that,
Okay.
that there is no class anyway, so that's our first 4 weeks.
Okay,
So we have July and we have August, and, vacations and whatever
Yep,
else
bless you.
might happen.
Is the board okay with what I'm saying? I'm not gonna promise that you people aren't gonna be mad with what the end result is, because I don't know what it is. I can't promise it. But is the board comfortable? Do we need any more info to hear from them to be able to say, hey, this is what I think should happen individually, and then come together as a group?
No, I think we have.
I think we have enough personally,
And I'm a math guy, so I've already started doing math.
yeah.
So I just want, if,
dangerous.
for the people that are here that have taken my class, if you could raise your hand.
And the people that are from Brentwood, if you please raise your hand.
If you don't live in Brentwood, can you keep your hand up? If you don't live in Brentwood, if you do not live in Brentwood. So it's,
There's 4 people here who live in Brentwood. Doesn't take me.
yeah, there's more, there are, but we also want to think about, we have 3 people that aren't, and so that trickles
Thank you.
down as well. So there's, yeah.
Okay.
So, and of the people who, right now, truth be told, if someone comes into the class and they are not on my roster because they have not paid, I have not said anything. We need to figure out how to do that too, and who's gonna do that. Because I'm not gonna say you didn't pay, leave. So we have to just figure, these are all the things that we have to figure
Yep.
out.
Yep, and I think we have all of the information that we need in order to kind of map something out here for all you folks.
All right, thank you very much. I do,
Thank you.
I do appreciate your
They
time,
can stay.
so.
You guys can stay if you want. It's still a public meeting, so.
Yeah, I love.
You may. If you can just state your name, that would be great.
I'm Joan Allen, and I'm from Raymond. And when Nick came in to talk to us, it was suggested they raise our hands, who's in town and who's out of town. And it was probably 60 to 70% out of town, people that come to the class. But I just wanted to let you know.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay.
You're free to go.
You guys are free to go.
But
You're free to go, or you can stay here. It's a public meeting. so-
can we just say there'll be a promise to follow up with Cheryl by,
Yeah.
what's the expectation? Is Friday this week too late to at least have an initial, hey, here's what we're thinking type of a thing? Just so you can have some idea of what's going on.
That's up to us. I mean, is everybody fine with doing that?
We would definitely have to discuss it.
We sure do.
But you'll get an email by Friday, even if it's, hey, we're in deliberation mode, but we're gonna have some
Yeah.
contact reach
There'll
out.
be a follow-up.
This isn't something we wanna go quiet on for a week and you not hear anything and be like, what are they doing?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay,
Yeah, so I would say they've got.
that's
That's okay, I
okay.
can-
No worries.
We've got.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Good night. Drive safe.
So we find out by Friday from the director. They don't have a class next week. anyways. I
Correct.
would like to at least have something in the works by the end of next week.
Right.
So they know coming into the
Yep.
next class, kind of what to expect
Yes.
or where each side stands.
Right, what
That's
do we have
what I
to do
think.
to be able to pool our opinions and stuff like that? Like, I don't know if we wanna do that tonight, right? Let's move on to the other agenda, but maybe we do.
We
wanna
can
do
revisit it. We can we can go through all the items and see where we're at in time.
Okay,
Yep.
Maybe
let's
revisit.
rock and
We
roll.
can
Julie knows
steamroll.
how to fire right through these
That's
things.
right, I do. All right, so our next part on the agenda is Parks and Recreation Commission seats and term expirations. So we're gonna discuss the chair. I am moving out of Brentwood and stepping down. That's the only reason why I'm leaving. Otherwise, I'd still be here. I love my Brentwood, but I need to move on. We're gonna discuss the vice chair and also the secretary positions. Everybody was sent the statement of interest. We have Lindsay and John here tonight, who submitted their statement of interest. If you haven't read them via the email, they are going around, so you can kind of go in there. But I actually would like to open it up to you guys so that you can come to the podium and tell us why
You have three.
Brentwood Recreation, and what you feel that you can bring to the board. You want to go first? Yep. Thank you.
After you.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Lindsay. I am the executive director of Austin 17 House. We're right down the road from you guys. I've been in this position almost 10 years now. It's crazy to think we've been a community center for almost 10 years, but clearly we're doing something right. I recently moved to Brentwood the beginning of the year on North Road, and so it's kind of twofold. One, this is my first opportunity or potential experience being on a committee for a town. I live next to Val Rogers, and she used to be on the committee. And basically it was like, hey, you want to take my spot? So I looked into it, and now that I'm part of the community, I work a lot with the community, and even just some conversations that have percolated over the last few months with Jason was really surrounding, hey, what are opportunities for us to collaborate? It seems like we all have a heart for Brentwood, we all have a heart for people, and so how could we work together instead of, doing efforts separately? As you heard, our space is available, so when there's things that come up at the rec, we're more than happy to open our doors. And so if I can be here to either lend some insight, talk about what we're doing, however we can be a resource, I'm more than happy to do that. My primary role is to write grants. I have about a 70%, if not more, success rate with grants. I've gotten pretty good at it. So if there's funding that's needed, I really do love to do research to find, different funding, especially for individuals who are, in dealing with welfare situations or at risk. And so I'm just, wanting to be a resource wherever I can, get a little bit involved in what's happening in Brentwood. And I felt like this would be a good first step. So.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Lindsay, I have a question for you. Are you looking for an alternate position, or are you looking to be a voting member? Oh, I didn't even look at that, sorry. I read that last week.
Did I say voting?
You did.
Okay. Just checking.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. I read your stuff last week, so my brain is like, yeah, okay, perfect, thank you.
No problem.
Oh my God, it's like right at the top. Sorry. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question? So if you were on as appointed, would you be open to being the secretary?
I've never sat in a secretary position. However, if somebody wants to go over the roles and responsibilities, I would be more than happy to look into that position. I do have to say, I am pregnant, so I will be out most likely
Congrats.
October. Thank you. But I should be good until up to then, and then just that month. So,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Right around budget season.
Yeah. Oh darn.
You get to miss all the discussions about budget.
It's the most fun.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
No, welcome to Brentwood.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Brentwood.
Thank you.
You're up, John.
Hi, good evening. So, John Comrie, Cadger Street. I'm interested in a position. I wouldn't say I have any official background in something like that. I haven't had a position like this before, but I have been in town for about 6 years now. I have 2 kids, 4 and 1, both in, well, one wants to be, the 1-year-old wants to be in rec. But the 4-year-old, she did t-ball and soccer, and we're doing soccer again. So rec makes sense to me for that. I saw the position available. I've been very interested in getting involved in the town in some capacity. As I mentioned, you know, my day job is I'm an electrician, so I don't have any formal experience with this in particular. However, you know, I'm a quick learner for one, and I have had some manager experience in my profession, so I've dealt with finances to some capacity, and yeah, just, you know, excited to, you know, for the opportunity, and just kind of looking for a way to serve Brentwood a little bit and kind of get more involved. So,
Excellent. Very good.
Awesome, thank you.
any questions?
Yeah, I'm curious, just would you have any goals or priorities or any areas of rec where you like find particular interest or want to try and get something accomplished? I don't know if you see anything that you're like, hey, I think they could do this better or something like that.
I mean, obviously my biggest interest right now is in youth programming, just because that's where, you know, my kids are going to be impacted the most. But, you know, I'm listening to things about the senior programs and things like that. And I do think that it's important, like this issue that you guys just spoke about. I think it's really important to get seniors involved and moving and healthy. But I also understand too, there's a budgetary constraint. So, you know, that kind of, my priorities would be mostly in youth right now, but I'm happy to help and serve however I can. So.
Awesome.
Just, you know, the dynamics of our town, 40% of our community is 55 and older.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that's something to keep in mind too when we're talking about senior programming and stuff like that. That's kind of a focus that probably should happen, since 40% is a big portion of
That's a
it.
big portion.
Big number.
Yeah.
Big
It's
number.
not like we're talking 5 or 10. It's
Yeah.
40%.
Yeah.
And I guess I've creeped into that. I started when my kids were 4. And now they're, well, he's 27, so I'm getting old.
Thank you.
Would Julie call it young at heart?
Yeah.
My wife just says I'm insane, but
And to add, I did say I'm looking for a voting position, but I'm open to alternate, whatever is best for the group.
Would, if you were put on as a voting member, would you be interested in secretary?
Same answer. I haven't done it before.
He's
I'd be happy
pregnant?
to learn, but
he's going to be
He's
out.
also due in
not the
October.
exact same answer.
He's going to be out in October.
Yes, I mean, I'd be open to it, but yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Perfect.
Thanks, John.
Thank
Anything
you.
else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
And there was a third, but they're not here.
They are not.
He was up in Maine today and was
Yeah.
not sure if he'd be able to make it. He's gonna,
Okay.
Yeah.
He had a 5-hour drive back.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when we talk about who's gonna be added to the board, that's non-public?
No, it's public.
No?
No, it's public.
Are we gonna do that now with them here?
Sure.
Is
It's
that-
totally up
They want to
to,
stick around, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Public meeting.
Yep.
Have
And
we
then
met-
ultimately, you guys are gonna make recommendations to the board, I assume through me.
Yep.
And then I'll show up at the select board and say,
Yep.
these are my recommendations from this board.
Has anybody met Brendan?
I've
Talked to him?
interacted with him a couple times. I know currently is part of our pickleball program, adult
Yep.
pickleball program. I met his wife too. I believe they have 2 kids here in town as well.
Yep.
I think they're both on the younger side though, so I don't think they're quite old enough to participate in rec programs. But I do know. I think his statement of interest went into
Yep.
it. He has a lot of experience from Wolfboro Rec.
Yes.
As I think was it the ice rink or something like that over
Yes.
there, I believe.
Yep.
The ice arena,
Um,
ski area.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ski
ski
area.
area. There you go. So
Yep.
he wants, he wants to take the environment that he grew up in Wolfboro and try to bring it to Brentwood. That's kind of his
Yeah.
thing. Is he wants to see the department flourish more.
He does. He had a significant role in updating their bylaws, getting sponsors. He collaborated with the welfare director for sponsorships and fundings, and also looks like he had worked with summer camp as well.
And just so you know, ultimately, I started as an alternate. I had selected to be a voting member, and then was moved up when an opening became. But I think you can speak to this. You still get a vote. You don't vote if you're an alternate unless someone is missing, and then we vote you in to vote for the night, and we try to rotate them. But you still have a voice. You still get to participate. Everybody gets to speak what they think,
Yeah.
and so voting's a really small piece of it. So even if you are an alternate, it's a great way to start getting involved.
For
So
sure.
Yep.
I would highly recommend, even though we only have one position open at this time, for a voting member, the others to be alternates,
Yep.
because there's always a need.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And I didn't go a full year before I was made a voting member, so, yeah.
We also have to discuss the fact that it's a potential 2-seat voting member situation.
Say it again?
I'm stepping down, but we also need to talk about because it says two member seats here.
Well, so Laura would be.
I got a
Probably
point.
would like to come back.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's right, that's
And
right,
the-
that's
the
right.
select
yes.
board
So that's
appointed me
what I-
last night,
yes,
so.
Perfect, awesome,
She's
yep.
all set
Perfect.
until, I don't know, you got
3 years.
29,
Yeah, yeah,
July
yeah,
3rd,
until like
June
29.
June 30th of 2029.
29.
So there's one.
So
seat.
that, yep,
One
Currently,
voting
there's
seat.
one alternate, but you could
Yeah.
motion to have a 4th one if we wanted to expand that further.
I think 3 alternates are fine.
We have 3
Everybody
alternates
fine with that?
currently.
We, yep,
Kendall, Jody, and then 1 open seat.
yep, and 1 open seat, yep,
I would be open to another one.
yep.
Honestly,
I think it's.
more alternates,
The
the
more
better.
alternates,
I
the
agree.
better, because if people go on vacation, if people are sick, and like, we
Yeah.
need to have people
I agree.
available.
And I
Life
think it's a
gets
great way to
busy.
get involved,
Yeah.
to start the process and
Yeah.
get involved with what the committee does, and it's a really good trial, and it's a year commitment.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
And
With
that
that
way,
being said, do we have to make any sort of addendum to these bylaws that we just adopted for that?
No, there shouldn't be
Nope.
any.
nope,
To add a 4th alternate.
no.
I don't think there's anything in there that states the structure other than the voting
Yeah,
members.
there isn't,
Okay,
just
good.
voting members, yep.
Just wanted to check.
And just so you both know, I've been on the board now 3 years. There's never been a conflicting vote within the board that was like where people
Yes.
were angry and it was split down the middle in my entire time. And I think everybody is more than welcome to speak their mind and is encouraged
That's
to.
so true, yeah.
I mean, not to say we're a bunch of yes men, but it's like,
It hasn't happened yet.
it hasn't happened yet, but welcome to the party. Yeah.
So is there a way to do that and have it reprinted? Hey, Bob, so we, so we do have to make a fix on here to change to 3 to 4 on
Okay.
here. Is that something that we can do and re-sign it tonight if it's reprinted
No, you'd have to get approval from the select board to ratify
to
it,
ratify it? Okay,
because that's the governing body.
correct.
You guys are advisory.
So
Yeah.
we'll
Can we
Actually-
write up a quick addendum
Actually,
and do that?
You could make a request. and
the
then we
law
would just
says we
vote.
can make our rules.
Yeah.
I read it this
But you're
morning.
still gonna have to have it ratified by the select board. I am.
Well, what we could.
You also thought it was guaranteed that you, as the ex officio, you get a voter, and that's not what it says. It says you may, not shall.
No, yeah,
You
well, then I
should
just
vote.
don't appoint anybody, and then that takes care of everything.
We could.
There's a simple way to fix that,
We
too.
could do a revision and bring that to the select board first, and then bring our suggestion after, assuming the select board
Yeah.
goes ahead and approves that.
And if
And
we're
I
gonna
would recommend if you guys want to bring a 4th one in, that you guys discuss that and then give me the, what you guys would like, and then I can bring it to the board and then
And
get
you're
it
gonna
all done
change
at the
it?
same time, and then I appoint and do everything at the same time.
I would say up to 4. If we're gonna change the bylaws, don't make it 4, make it up to 4
Well,
alternates.
the other thing you could also do is Brendan's not here tonight.
Yep.
We could wait to meet Brendan.
Sure.
And then approach that situation when and if we need a fourth.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, because you can appoint,
Yep.
because you have an opening for an alternate right now.
Yes.
Yeah, one of
one
each.
for
You
each.
guys can do that.
Yeah.
So you
So-
guys could do that and then make a recommendation to do up to 4 in there. And then once that happens, if Brendan can come in here, then you guys interview him and go through that process.
That would work
But
with me.
I think that
realistically-
works.
Realistically, you guys approve what you want and then you send it to the select board and then they ratify it.
Yeah.
And then it comes back to you guys. And then you vote to accept whatever was ratified.
I do like that idea personally. I would like to
Yeah.
meet
Mhm.
Brendan first.
Right.
I
Yes,
think we
exactly.
keep it as is. Invite Brendan to come
Yep.
to our next meeting. If we like him, we decide.
Yep.
Then we can work on an addendum to get it ratified.
Well, I would almost probably recommend that you do up to 4. And
Yeah.
then even if
Yeah.
he doesn't fit, at least now you guys can.
We still have the
forward-
option
At least
for
you have
another.
the option.
Yeah.
You can
Someone
have
else
the
come
option. So
forward.
I would recommend that you vote to change it up to 4.
Yep.
Make the modification in it, rechange that bylaw, ask the select board to
Ratify.
approve it,
Yeah,
ratify it. Well, you guys first have to vote on it.
correct.
Then you bring it to the select board, they ratify it. Then it comes back to you guys sign it. And at that time, hopefully he's here, you guys can interview him. If you like it, great. If you don't,
Then we still have an
you
option.
And
still
it's
have an
still
option.
the
to find
opportunity.
Tell him.
somebody else.
Again, I would like to make a motion then to amend the recently adopted bylaws to add it to say up to 4 alternates.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Fine with it. I have a feeling it's gonna be like up to 5 though, or sometime. The
They won't
one,
fit at the
the
table.
one thing I will add though is I think we need to find who our 4th voting member, the permanent, is tonight.
Yeah, well,
Before
that's,
you
Yes.
do the next meeting, do we
Yes.
have to
Yes.
decide? Because if Kendall's gonna stay as
Yeah.
the alternate,
Right.
we have one
We
permanent.
can do that right this
did
second.
you want to be permanent or alternate?
She wants to be alternate, so it's one of these two that get to be
wants to be
permanent.
alternate?
You sure? Yeah, we're gonna give you time to withdraw your candidacy.
You're both pregnant, so we need to know.
Yes.
How's this gonna work? Let's go flip a coin, we can flip my motorcycle, whatever you guys want to do.
One's a 3-year term, one's a 1-year term. I'm not sure if you're both ready for the 3-year commitment, or if any of you are kind of like, I don't know, maybe that's a little bit too much.
Okay.
I'll voice my opinion. I mean, personally, and I think you're great, and I would love to have you part of this. But Lindsay, just kind of with your background and everything, I
Yeah.
would prefer Lindsay to be the voting member.
The grant writing piece has been the topic of this
that's the
board
topic for me.
discussion a number of times during 3 years, John. But I will tell you, I walked in with the exact same attitude. I got 2 young kids, and I all of a sudden became vice chair and have been like in the middle. So it happens very quickly where you might be.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have John doing electrical work.
Yeah.
You're in.
But just know that he'll be covering you on maternity leave.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I will say, I have worked with Lindsay through Regional Association, because you submit your projects to us. You do a really good job putting that together, so I can speak firsthand to that. I also really would like to see us collaborating more with Austin House. You have a basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
I would really love to have access to that for the rec for adults, because that's a conversation we've had, that the gym is small.
And
that
my
we
son
use.
has played over there numerous times.
Is that a
so,
full-size
yep.
court over there?
No.
Is it bigger than what we're using?
Well, we have Talbot Gym in Exeter, and
Right.
we also have Swayze, so we have the 2 spaces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we pay for Talbot Gym?
I don't believe so.
No.
I have to double check that. But I
No,
don't-
certainly.
we only pay for that for the youth basketball. I don't think we
Yeah.
charge for men's basketball.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a motion that we recommend Lindsay Peralt for the voting member, and that we're going to recommend John for the alternate.
Second. All in
Aye.
favor? Aye.
All right, congratulations.
Excellent.
There you go.
Congratulations.
You're now victims of circumstance. Welcome to the club.
It does have to go to the, officially to the select board.
I'm just letting you know, I will not be here in 23 years.
Now, real quick, I would like to thank, on behalf of the Parks and Rec Commission here, we'd like to thank Jim and Julie for their time on this board. We do have a couple of gifts for you guys.
Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Amazing.
Jim, for
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. See, this is what you're in it for.
Yeah.
Straight cash.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You might want to open that.
All right, we're out.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna keep rolling, all
That's
right?
The only other thing to
Yes.
note is that at the next meeting in July, we have to discuss who's taking, I mean, you guys aren't gonna be here. So you guys, we're gonna have to talk about who's
Your
taking which
officers.
role.
Yes.
Yep. So that'll be discussion at our next.
And you guys kind of discussed that
Yeah, we have
already?
a good idea.
Good.
Looks
Okay.
like we hopefully found a new secretary.
And
Yeah, I know I'm great at taking.
There you go.
Somebody wants to meet with me in the between now.
Easy, easy. I'll help you out.
Let's get together.
And I can send you both the bylaws too, because it outlines everything in there too.
Well, they're about to change.
and if either of you have
Well,
any ideas
Yeah.
on the chair yoga
You
situation,
just made a recommendation.
please email, because your input, you might have a better idea than any of us.
Awesome. All right, fantastic.
We
You
setting
guys-
them free
you
if they
guys
want
can
to. Okay.
Stay or head out or good?
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Take care.
4th of
Thank
July,
you.
please show up. And if you have a
Yeah.
Jeep, if you know anybody with a Jeep,
Parade.
tell them to bring a Wranglers, please.
Please do. All right, so that next discussion is the 4th of July parade, and yep, volunteers are definitely needed. This will be my last parade, so I will be definitely in it, walking in it, and doing what I normally do. I am gonna give everybody an update, because I know we're supposed to have a meeting on the 29th with our subcommittee, but I do wanna make everybody aware. I have been in contact with Holly. If you've read your emails, they had to pull out because they lost one of their main employees. So 4th of July weekend for them is legit the busiest time of year for them. So it's all hands on deck. So what Holly and I have discussed.
Goody Coles.
From Goody Coles. Oh,
I was
sorry.
thinking you were talking Holly from the Jeep
Holly,
thing.
yeah, no, sorry. No, Goody Coles. Yeah. She honestly was truly devastated, because she just was like, I'm so sorry, but she said that is our busiest, and this is our main person. So her and I have been collaborating. She had already bought a tent. She had already bought, tablecloths. She'd already bought all this stuff. What she sent to me today, because we were trying to see if we could have volunteers to do the food, they'd make a pricing menu, all that good stuff. It just is not working for that, because they can't package food and do whatever. So the thing that they came up with, and I'm gonna have to look at my phone because of her message, her and her husband basically discussed what they'd like to do is they're gonna do, excuse me, okay, where is it here? I'm just gonna read it off. Basically, she said, "Good morning, I've been going back and forth trying to figure out the best way for us to make this seamless as possible. Her and her husband basically want to, instead of donating the food, because we don't know who could volunteer to hand out the food, they want to do a Goody Coles backyard barbecue giveaway, where they are gonna have multiple prize packages that folks can enter to win throughout the day. So the table's gonna be set up. They're coming up with a bunch of different packages for families to basically donate the money, and then they'll obviously have a package, whatever that backyard package is gonna be. I'm still discussing that stuff with her. I told her I thought it was a great idea only because I didn't want to lose them at all. I wanted them to still be a part of it, and they wanted to help us out. The proceeds are gonna go to Parks and Recreation for anything that comes through, because of what has happened and that they can't be there to hand out food. If everybody is fine with it, I told her I think it's a great idea, because she was freaking out about not being able to do this event.
So like a raffle?
So it's gonna be like a raffle.
and raffles.
Yep. And then they're coming up with a different family backyard barbecue packages. But they'll do those. They'll probably make enough. I haven't asked her the number of those yet. I'm assuming they're gonna probably do baskets or different things, because that's some things that she kind of does on the side. So I don't know how many yet. I'm gonna ask her because she did say they want to be able to do it throughout the day while the event is going on. So that's where we kind of left it this morning. And I just wanted to update you guys, you know, in regards to that change.
Do we still have any food vendors?
We do. So Lindy's is still going to be our food vendor, and we also have Kona Ice, who has always participated in our parades.
Do we know what Wendy's is bringing?
They're gonna do pizza. So, which I said, that's great. Keep it simple. It's gonna be easy for you guys. I do have to actually message her tomorrow because I want to see if there's anything else like they want to add in, like maybe whoopie pies or something else, or if she strictly wants to just sell pizza throughout the event that they're still in.
You guys still doing the dunk tank and stuff like that, or no?
I don't think we've had anybody who's been able to get the. No one's volunteered to go ahead and pick up a dunk tank.
So-
Volunteered to be in it. I know that.
So,
At least-
yeah, so that's
No one's
the,
able to step up to.
so that's the one thing I wanted to find out about, because originally, when Chief Doty was here, he's the one that had the contact for the dunk tank, and he was gonna obviously dunk the chief. After he left, I basically said to him, like, who's the person who handles National Night Out? You guys always have a dunk tank there for the chief. So whoever they use, we need to find out, because that's the only dunk tank I know about.
Well, so Nick, I believe, I have to go back, I have a folder of his stuff.
Okay.
He had found a dunk tank in Concord, I think it was.
Mm.
But they were gonna charge us, I think it was like between $300 to $350 for the dunk tank usage.
And that's probably, I'm gonna be honest, that is legit the cheapest I've ever heard a dunk tank being charged for, if we had to go that route. But I just don't know if I'm sorry, I always forget her name, the person who always works with National Night Out for the police. Thank you. I know that she might handle that, so I don't know if she's been spoken to about who they use for National Night Out. I'm assuming that maybe they just rent it and they do the same thing and have it there. But I did some research, and that was with but basically was back then with
Have you
Doty.
checked with Chet at all?
No, I have not.
Because he's the chief of the police?
Yeah, so if you can, I would reach out to him and her, if you can, to find out who they're using for the dunk tank. I don't know what the rest of the board thinks, but I think that is something that should be a part of this, because that's what it was originating when Doty was here. If we have the funds to have to pay for it, I think that we should. If there's funds through rec that we can utilize it.
Yeah, I mean, we have money to pay with, I guess, if we wanted to do that sort of stuff, but it just depends on how much we want to.
Yeah, if we don't get anywhere with how or who they use for National Night Out, then we do it really quick.
Well, the other side of it is we still need somebody who's going to pick it up. And we have the committee has.
They don't deliver it?
They wouldn't drop it off. No. Nick was saying that somebody had to go pick it up.
Oh,
And
really?
That's, I believe, my conversations with him. Once again,
Ooh.
Nick was doing 100% of
Okay,
the parade before he left. So
yeah,
I only know
Okay.
bits and pieces. But to my knowledge, somebody had to pick it up, and I don't believe we've been able to get somebody on the subcommittee who's willing to grab it.
oh, how big of a truck do you have to have for it? I don't know.
Probably need a trailer.
A trailer, okay.
Then you gotta think about if we're picking it up, then we have
You gotta bring it back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Okay, if you can reach out to the chief and just go that route, tomorrow while I'm at work, I'm just gonna go on real quick to find out if I can figure out where there's another one.
The Exeter rental, are they still in existence?
I don't think that they,
Are they
no,
gone?
I think they're gone. I think they've been gone for a really long time now.
Because
Yeah.
I knew they used to have
They used to have, right, yeah,
all that stuff.
yep. Yeah, I think they were gone right before COVID, actually.
Really? It's been that long?
Yeah.
That tells how long.
Yeah.
it's been. I'm out of the party game, you know. My kids are old.
What if we did like a knockoff version? We just put the select board up there and have kids throw water balloons at them.
You can do that.
Oh,
I'm gonna put my
yeah.
dog goggles on.
Yeah.
Yes.
They go
So-
ahead, pepper me.
This will be what I consider like a hustle moment of hustling for the dunk tank. So let's do that first, and then tomorrow I will do some research and I'll get with you tomorrow. is everybody gonna be around for the parade? Some people are vacationing, some people are doing stuff, because normally, we have a handful of volunteers at the parade. This is gonna be a bigger one, so, yeah, yeah,
We tried making it big, which is why I've been pushing to get as many Jeeps
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah.
Right now, like I said, I have 28 committed.
yeah,
So, or we have 28 committed.
Yeah.
Jeep groups.
awesome.
What else do we have besides Jeeps?
It is,
I'll be
I
there.
have
Yeah.
no idea, I've been
Okay.
focusing on Jeeps.
What else do we have besides Jeeps?
We have my motorcycle.
so,
and my dog.
who,
Distance?
yep,
Oh, boy. I know we have a couple walkers, huh? A lot. I mean, it's a lot of forms. I don't know how to quantify a lot.
So-
we have I know we have several walkers. We have several
Yep.
antique vehicles.
Yep.
I think we have a float or two in there.
yep.
Fire department probably.
Fire department.
The-
police
yeah,
department,
the
highways
fire,
would
the
be in there.
police, highway,
Police will have their motorcycle in there.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I don't think we've heard from the horses.
So they are in, they actually sent, I just spoke to them last week, they did send in their registration,
So
so,
then I'm
so,
glad
yeah,
it's-
so they're a go for sure. And then there was only 2 people that couldn't do it this year, but they were, it wasn't the horses or anything like that. So most of the folks on that list from last year are in attendance this year. A couple of them, I'm still waiting. I'm actually going to send him a 3rd email. I was waiting for Chapel to get back to me. He's like, I'm still debating if we can actually have like a float this year with their business on it. And I said, well, you kind of need to we need to know because we got to put, it's like literally next weekend.
10 days.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send the 3rd email to him just as confirm. And then there was one other person, they couldn't do it this year just because they were going with family to a bigger event.
And I
somewhere else,
know
so.
Jim Mishud was looking at vehicles from the
Yes,
He said he has 3 from Dragway
Dragway.
Yep.
Thank you. That's it.
that are gonna be
He
there,
has,
but they're
from
not
what-
gonna be driving it. I think they're gonna be in,
Just
set
on a
up in the
thing.
parking lot for kids
Yeah.
and stuff to look
That's
at 'em
cool.
and do stuff like that.
the other thing I believe he mentioned, he already has the stage for everything, for like the trophies and all that stuff.
So yeah, so for volunteers, we're gonna need help. People organizing the parade.
Yep.
We're gonna need people at the end of the parade.
Yep.
At Swayze, because that's where everybody gathers for the most
Yeah.
part. Some people to help hand out. I think we got a bunch of bubble ones, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That you can pass out.
I'm gonna do
People
my
like that,
normal
balance, judges.
thing of checking everybody in and lining everybody up like I do every year at the shed.
Is it like 10 a.m.?
It's 10 to 2.
The parade starts at 10.
Yeah,
The lineup begins. at
lineup
9.
is at 9,
I'll be
Yep.
there around 8:30 to organize the Jeeps. and
Yeah.
get my ride.
and I'll be
we're
there,
advertising until 2.
it's 2 o'clock, yeah,
when it ends.
and when it ends. And then I will be there when you're there to start rounding everybody
Yeah,
up and
I
lining
think-
everybody up.
Last year, we just had the Jeeps go to the Pilgrim
Yep,
Church.
that worked out
and
perfect.
Everyone, because what happens is it just becomes very chaotic at
Yep.
the highway shed.
Yeah.
Because people drive in and people who went in and turned around, so now
Yeah.
they're heading at each other and it's like.
Yes,
And if you have floats, they have to line up on the street because with the trailers,
Right.
was difficult to get in.
Okay.
yeah.
You can't block
So
driveways.
do you have a list of who's coming from here? I know I'm not, but.
I only have myself, Joey's gonna be in attendance. Do you know if you can attend or not?
I'm gonna have to look to get some help for sure, because I have a commitment.
Okay,
But, that's what I was asking.
yep,
And
okay.
is it like full-time commitment from 8:30 to 9 o'clock?
Depending, I think we can find some shorter things.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if there's a part of it where you might be able to, I would probably recommend if you have a time commitment, maybe if you can do like the end where you're at Swayze, maybe assisting with some stuff. I know where I will
That's
be, because
probably what
I'm
I'll do.
I'm always at the end of when everybody, because I get everybody out into the road and I make sure that everybody's all lined up.
Yeah.
I'll probably
So,
do the
and then I
banners.
walk behind
I can
everybody.
hang out down near Swayze because I'm not gonna be able to stay there till
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
Are you coming?
I'm at Hampton Beach
That's right.
until that morning.
Oh, okay.
Coming back, so I don't know what time we're coming back.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
no
not sure
worries.
if I'm gonna be in.
Yeah. No, that's
I
fine.
don't know what's
No
going on
worries.
with that one.
Yeah.
But we do need to judge the
He's
floats
gonna
beforehand.
be adopting the Scottish He's gonna be
Part of the Tartan Army?
He's gonna be showing up in a kilt, and he's gonna kill it down
So-
in Boston.
I wonder if there's
Kendall, can
any,
you be there that
are
day?
there any camp counselors that might be
I-
able?
You're,
Can you ask them?
not the.
And see if
Already
they
kinda
can-
teased
Now
it,
that I
but
know
I
that.
haven't committed to like.
Okay, just let Julie know, yeah.
So,
If we desperately need people, maybe
sure,
a little bit.
sure. I mean,
That-
they're
that-
gonna be working that Friday, so.
It's-
I
yeah.
think we're paying extra.
And honestly, we've had minimal, I mean, I know this is a big one, but we've had minimal assistance in the past and it's all come together just fine. I just feel like it's great to just have, when we're in that parade where we have like someone's in the back, someone's in the middle, someone's in the front, and just making sure. And who is the Grand Marshal?
I know we have one. I can't remember her name.
Okay.
I know Dexter's got it figured out though.
Okay, cool. Yay.
He's got that. So
I thought, I don't know why I thought of that.
Age limitation on the volunteers, like,
I'd say what,
person would be
teens?
18 or
I'd say,
older?
I'd say like teens are great, because we had, I forget what year it was, maybe a few years ago, we had, when we were doing the bracelets and handing out bracelets to the kids, we had a couple of teenagers doing that.
And we have to make sure people know that they can't throw candy.
Correct.
It's in the rules that they all.
It is,
agree
yeah,
to,
so they, yep, that,
Because I know even last year, there was still some people
They
still
did.
throwing candy, and I'm
Yep.
like,
yep, the
Against the
military,
law.
the military truck was doing it.
It's
I'm like,
against the
no!
yeah, there was a law passed,
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah, you can't,
Because they don't want the kids running up to the vehicles.
Yeah.
and
You can
everything.
hand
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Is that like a
You
state
can walk
law?
over and hand
You can walk over, yeah, they
Yeah.
passed a law.
yeah.
There was a
Exeter
situation
did it at
in
Christmas.
Yeah.
not that long ago.
Somebody almost,
But you can
some
walk
kid almost
over
got
and
run
hand
over.
things
so-
to the
Oh,
crowd.
you can't throw- oh,
And that's
okay.
what, and that's what we did
Raises
last
kind of
year, was we
issues.
were handing like lollipops and some stuff out, you
Flags.
just,
Yeah.
flags,
Handing
you
it,
just
you
can't,
can't
yeah.
throw
You
it.
just
But if
can't.
they're throwing it from a truck, or they're throwing it and then a little kid runs out in front of a
Oh,
vehicle,
I've had to stop my kids plenty of times.
yes.
So that's where we're at. Anybody else have anything else for the 4th of July parade? We're just gonna work on that dunk tank.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so, grades 3 to 5 soccer.
So we talked about this briefly at our unofficial meeting in May because we didn't have enough to have a quorum. For those who weren't at that unofficial meeting, we basically discussed how the last 2 years we've been struggling in participation at that level. And Joey, I know you were my coach last year, so you can probably attest to
It
the low
was only
numbers.
my team.
Yeah, so I think we had 12 kids, and maybe there were 9 kids who would show up each night to practice.
Yeah.
So that's something that I don't have registration open for, because that was kind of the preliminary discussion that we had back in May. However, we haven't had an official vote on that, so I still wanted to at least have it out there so we can kind of make a decision officially whether we're going to offer that or not this fall.
Personally, I think at this point, everybody is so entrenched into getting into FX Exeter, all that, or FC Exeter, whatever it is.
Seacoast United and
Seacoast,
stuff, yeah.
everything. I think it would be a waste of our time to try and open
Yeah.
it up. I mean, with already how minimal it was.
You're competing with the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, my son went through the whole
Yeah.
soccer gamut. I think he did the
Yeah.
Brentwood Rec to start, and then we put him over into Seacoast
Yeah.
United, and
And that's the age,
And they've all,
that's the
they
age
just did all
bracket.
their fall tryouts
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, so teams are already picked for the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we,
Yeah. And if something comes around in the future, I mean, you guys can obviously be like, yeah, let's bring it back in. But I think at that age bracket, that's where they start sending them off, because that's the age they want to
Yeah.
become professional.
Yeah.
But that's how they get.
they don't become.
No, I know that. Yeah, no, they
I
don't.
thought my son was pretty good, and
Yeah.
he didn't become a professional. So.
No FIFA, yeah.
National New Hampshire just got drafted in the first round of the NBA last night.
Oh, amazing.
Well, there are a few handouts, but that's it. You figure how many professionals are there and how many kids are playing soccer at 3 to 5.
So,
Doesn't happen.
yep, so we're going to vote on, not participating in that age group.
So is that a
soccer.
motion
That is a
to
motion.
nix it?
yeah.
Second.
All in
All
favor?
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
Abstained?
no,
There you go.
we're good.
Laura was quiet.
Never voted.
Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, next one is department sponsorship opportunities. And it says we started sending out banner agreements. So we have some agreements already?
So I know I have one with World War Chocolate here in town. I sent
Great.
them the form, waiting to hear back from I have to tomorrow send one out to Stat Oak Farm. They've expressed interest in the banner as well.
Good.
I know Jim Mishu said that he would like to get a banner, so I can't remember if I sent one to him or not. I think I have, but we've been talking. So there's at least 3 there.
Did you send it Brentwood Power?
Yeah, David Flag.
I have not.
'Cause I know
You
he-
send one to them as well?
What?
Yeah, send one to them as well.
Send one to them as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
he,
yeah, for sure.
he actually donated the cost of the signs, you know, welcome to Brentwood, county seat. Because the state, when they did them several years ago, they just put vinyl over plywood.
Oh.
And Brentwood,
Plywood
emergency
didn't last.
vet?
Sorry.
So
Brentwood
now they're over
emergency vet?
aluminum and he paid for all
Yep.
those signs.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Please send it to
I
them.
think Nick might have, but I'll follow up on that one.
But if you haven't got anything, I would just resend it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know David
And
Flag.
go to Chapel
would
if they
probably
don't
be
have
all
one,
for
or do they
that.
have one already? Chapel Tractor?
I don't think we've spoken with them.
And they've been in
I
our
did.
parade, so I
No.
would go to them.
I actually did speak to all these people, so Chapel said yes.
Oh, perfect.
And
I would hit
the,
Goody Coles up too, and I would also hit up Lindy's.
Yep.
Sure.
I don't think you should hit up Lindy's. They already give so much. They give a lot to the, but
Maybe they want
I
a
gave a
banner?
list to Nick of who I went to. So there's ones that were definites and then there were follow-up ones.
Okay.
I will get you that
I'll-
list.
Thank you. Thank you. That'd be
Okay.
great. All right. That's just kind of an update. That's all
Yep.
it is.
The
Excellent.
more the merrier.
Perfect. All right, next one is future master plan.
This is once
briefly.
again just real quick.
Yep.
This is nothing crazy. We talked about it at the last unofficial meeting. It's just something that I really want to start us thinking about with a new board kind of getting on way. As I think I mentioned last time, it's something that each department's supposed to do every 5 to 10 years. We're in year 8 of needing to have that happen. So our clock's kind of running out. Mark has expressed a great excitement for us to try to get going on this because usually he has to drag departments to get this done. I think it'd be great for us as a new board, us having a new director here coming in soon, be able to work with the community on having a plan moving forward. I know there's a lot that's going to go into it. It's going to be a lot of meetings, a lot of work sessions, stuff like that. So obviously we can definitely wait till we have a new director who's kind of figured some things out. But once again, right now we don't have a solid direction for this department. I think it would be very helpful for us to have something in writing. So just want to toss that out there. And plus, we're going to have to legally do it in the next couple of years.
Yep, amazing, okay.
Quick question on that one. So
yeah.
I think there was a big part of discussion of, chicken egg, does the select board and the town lead a 10-year master plan and we are part of it, or can we go ahead? So we're okay to, as when the new director comes in, have this be something we initiate?
So
or-
Laura and I have talked about this on and off.
Okay.
From my conversations, and please correct me if you felt otherwise in your conversations with Mark. Mark seems to be under the impression that we can go ahead and do our own part of the master plan. However, Laura has expressed concerns about not including the full aspect of the other departments in towns and stuff like that, how there is still cohesiveness that's required. But Mark, from my conversations with him, seems to be understanding that we can go ahead and do that on our own.
Typically, historically, in my elderly experience, the planning board usually, because it's planning, right? So the town planner, he's going to review all your plans. And then they put them together, and that's the 10-year plan. Well, it should be evolving every year, right? Like, so 1 year goes by, now it's not a 10-year plan. I just have to update the plan. But if 8 years has passed and nobody's touched the plan, that means now you guys have a yeoman's work to basically come up with a plan to basically do the 10 years. And then next year, everyone should be visiting it. So if you guys come up with a 10-year plan this year, this department, this group, has to create what the next plan is for, so in 2036, right? Because 2027 is going to be here. So then you guys are going to be planning next year for what happens in 2037.
Yep.
I don't even know if I'll be alive in 2037. I might be really sitting in a nursing home, but you never know. So those are the things that you guys have to really be looking at. And every department is supposed to come up with a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
So the planning board has to do it. The fire department, the police department, everyone needs to have that 10-year plan.
So there are legal requirements as to like the amount of public hearings we have, all that sort of stuff, where we have to get community involvement. If we don't have community involvement, the whole point of the master plan is kind of moot. It's not supposed to be our plan, it's supposed to be the community's plan. So what we are supposed to do is take all these feedbacks and these surveys, focus groups that we do, take all that information and then make a plan with that information. I do know that we basically draft our plan and we give it to the planning board. They go through the motions. They have to do their own public hearings, and then they basically approve it, and boom, we're good to go. But once we have something in writing, it helps immensely with grant writing. If we're getting Lindsay in here and Laura, who both have a lot of experience in grants, that'll be a huge asset for them to be able to say, we went to our community and they said they want this. It's going to help immensely with those grants. And then it's also going to help with our CIP plan, which is our capital improvement plan. That's a different conversation for a different time. But all these different things should just be building blocks that will set us up for success.
And conservation comes up with them too, because they all have to figure out what their vision is, like how to preserve lands and stuff like that. So each department is supposed to do that. And I know there was charrettes that happened over the last 2-3 years, but I don't know if there was a plan that came out of it.
They gave us a suggestion saying, here, this is what you could be like, but we didn't take that and go forward with it.
Okay, so it just kind of,
It's out there.
it's here and it fell flat.
Well, you could use it for you could look at it, you could
Yeah,
revisit to see
I
if
would-
there's anything worthwhile.
Because they did do.
You don't have to throw it
They did bring in community
Yeah.
members, to do that as well. So we can definitely use that as.
Yeah,
some
you can
information.
utilize it. You don't want to put that to, you don't want to waste that because they came here and did it. So, yeah,
I mean, they had, I think, a couple of them, didn't they?
they did.
So if they had a couple of them, I'm sure there's some
There's-
meat and potatoes in there
pull
for you
out of
guys to
that.
use.
Just did that whole survey.
Yeah, so that was like a 100-member survey. So we do have information that we can pull from.
Yeah.
There's still, there are legal requirements as how many different stuff we have to do. But we do have some building blocks already in front of us.
Yeah, and the good thing is that always goes through planning because they're
Yeah.
planning for 10-year plans, so.
Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. On to the next, lower field irrigation.
So Jim and I had the pleasure of meeting with Gary from Hillside this morning. Gary walked us through kind of the entire project, and right before the meeting, he actually sent over an updated. Actually, I'm gonna give you that if you don't mind passing that around. This is an updated estimate of what it would cost him and his company to take care of the irrigation.
Don't talk about the price, because you're gonna have to put it out to bid. And if
Correct.
you mention the price, we got a problem.
This price. You can see the price.
Zippity lilippity.
So as you can see there, that is for the entire field of the lower field at the rec center. And Gary was very confident that we can build off of the current well and system that we have, so we wouldn't need to install a second tank at all. So that number that you see there is what he's saying would cost him to put irrigation across the entire lower field of the rec facility. So
My opinion's not going to be mattering, I suppose, officially moving forward, but I will say on the way out, this is one project that I fully believe 1,000% needs to be done.
Yep.
The grass in the lower fields is deteriorating, and once you get it to a certain point, it's gonna be very difficult to bring that grass back. I've been in meetings with FC Exeter a year and a half ago where people were all laughing at the condition of the Brentwood fields. This guy, Gary, has been maintaining the upper fields. He installed the irrigation up there, knows the system inside and out. Brentwood resident in the past, manages multiple school facilities, like properties, from beginning to end, soup to nuts, everything with their, making their fields look nice. And I would heavily weigh in favor of this gentleman owning this piece of the project. He's responsible for putting in the drainage solution. For people that don't know, they're in the lower field. It seems to have worked out great for this year when there was a ton of snow there waiting to be melted. And then we had a ton of rain at the beginning. If everybody remembers, last year that would have been a swamp.
Yeah.
Like ridiculously, and still probably wet. Honestly, I even after all the heat we've had. So he knows his stuff, and my guess is he's going to be very competitive. I understand it has to go out to bid, but I would just very strongly encourage people to give this guy the benefit of the doubt and listen to what he's talking about.
Gary did say the project would take about a week and a half to complete. And Jim, correct me if I misheard him, but I believe he said that it shouldn't interrupt our fall soccer season at all.
So what would happen is essentially there's a huge tank on the property over there, and it fills up from the well. The water's sitting in there. it gets dispersed out every night when they're doing the irrigation up top and then fills up from the well. They're gonna be able to use that same tank to build the piping system over to the lower irrigation field. So they don't have to add another tank. It's just gonna be like, well, we can only use alternating, you can't put the whole thing on in the entire field. It's way too big. So when you're planting the new grass in the lower field, you might water this like 1-2 days, and this is just getting hit a little bit here. When that thing runs in the upper field, he told me it runs for like 5 hours.
Wow.
Just so people know, like there's a lot of water being drained, and the upper field looks nice, so that's how it works. But what he told us is when he's gonna go out and dig this, it's in like rows, right? And it's a pattern. So they're gonna go up and do a section a day, drop it in, put the heads, boom, 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 put the dirt in over it so it's smooth and it could be used
Yep.
that night.
That's good.
Okay.
Then the right 4 o'clock, they're packing up, boom, the next day they come in, they're gonna start from where it was. So you will be, I was surprised, you will be able to use the fields
Wow.
in the fall for soccer, but from scheduling purposes, it sounds like it's gonna be best for this guy because he said August and September and is the busiest time of year. Well, you wanna be able to plant the grass in September.
Yes, yep.
So July, late July, early August is when I think if he's getting the project would be optimal for him on his scheduling. That's where he was just talking off the cuff. But if we don't have a decision for 2 months, you're gonna go another year and that's okay. But when do you have to use impact fees for? By, is there a date?
6 years to use impact fees.
Okay, so
When
it's
did
not
these
gonna
come
run
in?
out or
When
anything.
they
But we
come
don't
in.
know. When did they come in?
Well, we have,
Well, we
we-
just
you know.
spent about let me reword, $15,000 just went out of our account the other day to cover old expenses that were never, had the funds removed. So I'm assuming that the oldest funds would have been used first.
They
So
always do.
we should have plenty of time.
Okay, so
We
that's
have-
not an issue.
We just had $30,000 that was brought into the account.
Yeah.
And another 15 is due to hit the account anytime now.
Because we have everything that's going on with River Run, we're getting a lot of impact dollars from.
Okay.
So that doesn't even include that then too. So, because we have reimbursement from the capital reserve funds that we are due.
Yeah,
In total of $45,000. So we're waiting for that final 15 of that 45 to hit the account. But that number that I put down there is accurate as of yesterday morning.
yeah, and I know I just read the treasury report, so, last night, but I don't remember the numbers.
Yeah, those should be accurate.
This
I
is
would
gonna
need
have to
that
go out
piece
to
of
bid.
paper in front of me.
So you're gonna have to get other people to come in, and I mean, if you're gonna get this project started in August, it's gotta be voted on in July, so people are gonna have to move to make that happen. I can see it.
Quick question. Do you already have other companies to go out to bid for?
No. So Bob, correct me because I've never done this before. I believe the town makes a official declaration that we are accepting bids, and it can be any.
You're
Any
gonna,
business.
you're basically gonna say, I need some bids for putting irrigation in.
Okay.
And for me, since you've already had one guy come out there and do it, I would probably pick up the phone book or go online, because they don't have phone books anymore. Go online. Find some irrigation companies that are local around here, call them and ask them to come out and give you a proposal.
And I know Gary also said that he would be willing to recommend people that he knows is trustworthy.
Yeah.
Would be able to give quotes as well.
Yeah, I think we need to start
I'd
soliciting
get that in the
bids.
next
Yeah, you
week.
solicit some bids.
Well, we have to
and-
do an official process for that. There has to be like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you had him come out here and do that. I would almost go out there and do that. Typically, I wouldn't have seen this.
Yep.
This should have been in a sealed envelope, and then you would have reached out to other ones, and then it's a sealed bid, and then we open them all at the same time.
Yep.
And then you go, I'm gonna award this bid to this guy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I already have the number. That's why I was pretty quick to say, do not say the number.
The other thing that Gary also mentioned is that he'd be able to do all of the post-project field care. So mixing up the dirt, those dry spotches that we already have, making it so that when he goes ahead and does the irrigation, that he's setting the fields up for the best success once they're installed. So I don't believe this includes that after reading it quickly. So I'd have to go to him. Obviously, that could be a separate number, separate from the actual installation of the irrigation. But he said that he would be willing to do the follow-up after that. And in conversations with Jim, this is completely side note, but he also said that he also does his own lawn care stuff as well. So I know we've, as a commission, have talked about potentially putting out our lawn care contract out to bid as well, potentially this fall or early spring. he said that he'd also be potentially interested in that. So it's another great way of potentially using the same guy
Sure.
who's done all this stuff.
I think to just cover the bases, you get the other
Yeah,
bids.
we have to.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, he's worked on our fields for like,
20
I think,
years.
25 years at this point. But just for
Mhm.
namesake, I just get those and get them ASAP, so that way you guys as a new board can vote on who you want. Because Jim's right, that you can't really wait. Otherwise, you're literally gonna wait another year cycle, and nobody's gonna wanna really do that.
So Bob, correct me because I don't have the bid policy in front of me. If you know this, I know we have to accumulate a project like description, like this is what people are bidding on, and then we start reaching out to companies saying. "Are
All you have to
interested
do
in
is
this?"
just talk to Julie tomorrow when you come in. Talk to Julie, say, we need to get some proposals from, I'm telling her to basically collect all these back so that that price is not floating around somewhere. I don't want it disclosed. And basically what you're gonna do is just talk to Julie. There's a process, they can put out an RFP for it. Then I just want to get irrigation put down on the lower field. You're gonna do the same thing, you're gonna meet with them, you're gonna walk around with them and say, this is what I'm looking at. You never tell them a price,
Sure.
and then give me a price, because I need to preserve what he gave you as a quote.
Yeah.
If I spit that number out right now, I can guarantee somebody's gonna come in
Try to-
$1,000 more, less than him.
Mhm.
And then now all of a sudden, it's not a competitive bidding situation, it's well, I'm gonna undercut him by a couple $100, and this is how it's gonna work.
Now, do we need to have a motion as a board to approve this bidding process?
I would make a motion to do that, and I'm willing to make that motion that you guys start that process. And I would actually say that you guys want to get their bids within the next probably 2 weeks.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so that would be part of my motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Now, the other piece of it is we want to use impact fees for this. So that's another, we'll have to go to select.
You
board
have to
for that.
check to see if they're available and what's available, and that's one of the things that you want to talk to Julie, is because now you have a ballpark figure what it should cost you.
Sure.
So.
Well, we have a number that, we have the balance is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
We know how
then
much.
you don't want to spit that out, because then otherwise, then I'm gonna
Yep.
come in with a bid
That's why I
right
said
at
we
your
have the number
number.
there, yep.
Yeah.
It's, one of the things that, in doing this process and stuff, if I come up with a price of $4 million and I say, hey, I got a price of $4 million, and I put it out to bid, guess what the number comes in? $4 million. If I say I have a price of $2 million, they come in at $2 million. So, and you always have to have a buffer, right? Because he even has in his thing that
Yeah.
he doesn't know what he's gonna hit when he has some of these other issues, rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, that could be an additional cost. So typically, you're gonna put a 10% buffer
Yep.
somewhere in there. So if I had a project for $2 million, I really only wanna go out for maybe 1.8.
So, question for you: can we get all those bids, give them to you once you're like, this is the person we want to? Once we have the person that we want to, or the select board wants to go with, can we then?
Well, actually, this board would be the
We
ones
vote
that
on
would
that.
look at it and say, hey, we got these proposals. We're
This is who
comfortable
we
with making this,
recommend.
remember your advisory, so you're gonna make the recommendation
Yeah.
to the select board, because we're following your recommendation. That's why you're
Well,
advising us what to do.
I could be mistaken, but I think the bid policy says that all the bids are submitted to the town admin, and then they're reviewed by the select board.
But I'm still gonna have
But we
you
have to
guys
give the
review
Make
it
an
to make
official
sure they're doing.
recommendation.
You're gonna make a recommendation, so you guys are gonna open them and everything else, and then you're gonna collaborate, because you're advisory, so you're kind of, the best way to look at it is you're almost like a subcommittee.
Right.
Right,
Sure.
so you're an advisory subcommittee, so I want you guys to gather that information because it's a project that you want.
Sure.
Then you gather that information, then you bring it to Julie, and she puts it in a nice little envelope for us to look through, and we say, yes, we agree with your recommendation.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you have to go with the cheapest, I'm not saying you have to go with the most expensive. What's gonna give you the need? Because you might have somebody that comes in and says, well, I'm gonna put in 15 zones, and you might have somebody that comes and says, I'm gonna put in 20.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you I have irrigation at my house.
Yeah.
I know how many zones I have, and I know I can, if I ran all my zones at the same time, I would blow my well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the reason you guys have an expansion tank
Yeah.
holding water.
The other last question I have, not so.
And I winterize mine myself. every year, and I open it myself every year.
Um,
And I repair it every year
Oh.
when I do something
I'm
wrong.
assuming when we do review those bids, I'm assuming that would be in non-public so we can discuss numbers?
Correct.
Yep,
Just so we're all on the same
Correct.
page.
Yep.
Yeah, and then so you guys would go to a non-public because you don't want to disclose what you have.
right.
And then ultimately, it's, you won the bid, congratulations, you won the bid. Now, if I have somebody that comes in with a bid for half,
Mhm.
why? What am I missing?
Yeah.
And so usually if it's a legitimate contractor, a price is a price is a price.
Sure.
You know, a cog won't always cost the same amount for everybody. It's just a matter of what they're charging for labor.
Yep.
The materials are gonna be what they are. The labor is different.
Yep.
I mean, they might have a markup on their materials, but, and I'm a big, again, you guys all know I'm an adjuster by trade, so I want materials and labor broken out. So I want an itemized estimate. So when you give me an estimate, a pie in the sky of this is how much it costs, that's great, but you better itemize it, because otherwise I just do this, that's cute. And then I have a nice recycling bin that usually sits behind me.
Awesome. Good?
That help?
All right. That helped.
All right.
All right, Historical Society, we are gonna be waiving table and chair rental fees for August 29th.
That's the question.
That's the
So
question?
So I actually, and I have a second one as well. So
Sure.
The Historical Society, Dexter came to me asking if he could rent tables and chairs for a yard sale. Thank you. That they're going to be doing. Historically, we've always been able to offer, we will waive fees for, well, we never really charged them in the past for tables and chairs, but historically for other town entities, we've been able to, for building rental, stuff like that, we've been able to waive those fees. So bringing it to the commission, now that we are charging for tables and chairs, are we willing to potentially waive these fees for the Historical Society to use tables and chairs for that weekend?
You guys charge town entities?
So historically, we haven't, which is why I'm bringing it to you guys
Okay.
to see if the commission's willing to waive it. So.
I can't vote because I'm on the Historical Society, but I will say, in general, I wouldn't support charging fees for
Yeah.
town entities. I mean, we should be supporting each other.
Yeah.
I would support it if, like, Bob wanted to have a party at his house and we would make him rent them, but
Yeah.
double charge Bob.
Well,
But
then I would have you break it
but
down to
I think we
labor and
can-
materials.
Right.
You better be delivering it to my house.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's legitimate if a town resident were
Yeah.
gonna do them,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
think entities, like, I would totally support doing it.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys. Yeah. So-
I'm gonna make a motion that you waive that.
I'm gonna abstain.
I'm gonna second that motion to waive those fees. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All abstain?
Abstain.
Got one? Awesome.
The last thing here I have, the Conservation Commission's trying to rent the building for a meeting, I believe it is. Yeah, for a meeting. So very similar circumstance. It's on a Monday midday, so it's not like it's gonna be impacting normal usage of the facility. So they're asking it, well, they're the same situation. There's another town entity, so the commission's also willing to waive that.
Make a motion to
I'll second that motion.
Aye.
Favor?
Aye.
All right, anything else for that?
That's it.
No, that's
Those
it.
two.
Okay, finances.
So because of Bob's suggestions, those are the numbers there. You guys can look at them.
Yeah.
Can I just go back for a sec? Do we charge, we don't make them pay for the liability insurance, do we?
Sorry.
We don't make if it's a town entity, we don't make them pay for the liability insurance.
So usually town entities should be covered under the town's insurance.
Okay,
So
I
they
just want to be
shouldn't have
sure.
Worry about that.
Okay.
And we haven't in the past because it's been covered.
Yeah, so we shouldn't have to worry about that at all. We can still do a $100 deposit just to hold it, but we don't do that for tables and chairs and stuff.
I don't think we should do that for any town. I mean, there are town people, they're
Yeah.
the town, so.
So
If
I
the
just
town,
wanted to-
if the town businesses, the town departments are taking your tables and chairs, please let me know.
okay.
Yeah.
I've had all the forms, so we have record of all of them. But
Then we
like,
can charge them. if
Yeah.
we
we
don't
don't
give
worry
them
about the
back.
insurance. We don't have to worry about.
If I go by the Historical Society and they have 20,000 chairs lined up outside and they haven't brought them back, I'm gonna be like, yo, dude.
All right, so the next Recreation Commission meeting is going to be held on July 22nd. And
But you,
calendars, everybody.
but you do have, 4th of July meeting coming up 29th.
We do on the 29th, yes.
We're gonna do that at the school.
Yes,
So we can
at
walk the
Swayze.
school where
Yeah.
And
events gonna be happening.
Before we make a motion to adjourn, how do we want to discuss this chair yoga stuff. We have to have a conversation
Yep,
about
we
that
do.
before the end of next week.
Yep.
I would, if it were me, and this is me, I looked at the price that they're being charged. They're being charged $2.08 per class
They are, yep.
for a resident and $4.17 for non-residents. They did say that it's 60 to 70% out of town, and that came from them, not from me. So that means you got 40 to 30% that are in town. I think if they have the Kingston Library is charging $5 voluntary thing for it, I would say just at this point, until the new rec director comes in and you guys can analyze this, I would probably make a recommendation that you just charge $2 per class, or even $2.50 if you want, but usually it's nice, you know, older people like me like to carry cash, so you might have $2.50 on you, but realistically, if they're charging $2 a class, that's pretty reasonable.
But does she want to handle cash?
In the
I thought that was the
past,
point she
Cheryl's
did.
tried to limit the amount of cash that she's taken in. So if Bob's suggestion is doing a $2.50 a thing, that's what
A
the punch
cup
card
or a
is.
bin or
I would-
I'm
charging.
taking them.
I'm okay with a punch card as an interim until, like,
I like
say,
the punch cards.
and
Yeah.
that way if someone is paid, you can give them that many punches, because
Yeah.
some people have already paid, in fairness.
Sure.
But I would say that this is a temporary until the new director
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
in.
1,000%.
But I mean, if you have, like, I liked your card, right? So like, let's say we're charging $2 a class. You got 11 cards on there, right? So $20, I can do the whole thing, but I can do 5
Right.
for $10.
Yeah,
And so, all right, give me a deposit for $10. And then I punch 5 and you know, I don't know, to me, it'd be fine if you had 5, you get an extra class.
So-
It's
Well,
12
but
weeks.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The
10 and
punches, you punch when you pay, not when you've
No,
attended?
you
No,
can't
no, they
use it.
attend it, so now they've used their $2.
But if they only want to buy half of them, we could pre-punch the ones they're not paying for.
yeah.
Well, no, you
Put a
just,
date on each one?
No, so
Yeah.
what you typically do is, so I would order all these cards, I'd have the office. People would come in and purchase them from me, and then the instructors would probably keep a hole puncher or something like that in the rec center, and the instructor would punch the card, so there's like a hole basically in.
yeah, just
the
make sure
segment.
you're ordering the punch
Yeah.
things that come up with little different shapes.
Sure.
Otherwise, I can go home with a pole puncher.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, that's only doing them a disservice.
Yeah, But still, you want to make sure.
Yeah.
you're-
And Jason's example has, you buy 10, you get one free.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd almost say, because she's doing 12 classes,
Yeah.
I would probably say, because I mean, think if you're charging $2,
Well, the thing is about her schedule, what this allows us to do is, instead of having a commitment, if Cheryl's like, I'm out this weekend, class is canceled. You know, there's no.
there's no hole punch.
Right.
Yeah. And so if you buy, but I would almost,
Easy, though. If it's
it's-
$2,
it's
it
very
makes it-
easy,
it
$2,
makes it,
but I mean, it-
$20.
$20, you
Yeah.
get the whole card.
So the one thing I would, before we put a price to it, I would request that we evaluate the potential of expanding this beyond just chair yoga.
Yeah.
I know that currently this is the short-term solution, but if we can also add this to all our other senior programming, which is a lot of other bigger departments do, it's something that works great across the board. So if maybe there's a middle ground that we can find that works for all our different programs, that might,
This
I
would
think-
be a temporary fix until you get the new rec director in here and
we could evaluate.
have them take an evaluation on, I mean, they might come in. And the other thing too is, the purpose of our Brentwood rec is to service our community.
Right.
So, I mean, right now, this is only a temporary fix, and that's why I wouldn't do the whole, 11 weeks.
Yeah.
Sure.
I would say, I'm only gonna do probably, I'm gonna give you 5, and then you can get the 6th week for free.
Sure.
That's what I would do for now.
Sure.
I would be like, this is limited.
So why
And-
would you only give them 5? Like, would he
I can
cross
just,
out?
so I made that,
You
I can
just-
just get rid of those extra.
He would
So
just
it would
order
only
those,
have-
order
Can we
20 of
just
them,
pre-print,
25
can we
of
just print them in-house?
Do
Because,
that too.
because you're gonna order such a small amount.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you're gonna order like maybe 20.
Sure. I can
Because
print them out.
she said she's had 20, 22, right? I think
Something
that's
like
what she
that, yeah.
had.
So are we doing it, just to clarify, are we doing it straight $2, non-resident, resident, just for as temporary?
Just temporary until we
yeah.
can get our head on it and see what they
To make
want to
sure
do, and then have them do an assessment. And that
Well, I
would be
think-
my recommendation of what you guys would do.
Yeah, I would just get, same thing, is give that to be temporary, only because the new rec director is gonna come in here and they're gonna wanna make their own spin like Nick did. I totally get the whole thing that Nick did with everything, with the resident, non-resident. He did a lot of research on all that stuff, and we all voted as a board that we were good with his, recommendations for this. Does it stink to have to charge folks? Yeah, but we can definitely work with these folks to make it a happy medium for them. I just don't think, because of what he wanted to do for us in our programs and basically churn through our programs, I wouldn't want to be like, yep, we're gonna just go back to free. We can't do that. We can't, because he gave us the numbers of how many, there is way more non-residents coming to this class as opposed to our residents. So we have to kind of find a happy medium. So yeah, I mean, letting her know this is gonna be temp. And
Well, and the
whatever.
other thing too is, even the people that showed up to the meeting, it wasn't all our residents.
Yeah, no,
We're here to service Brentwood.
yes,
And I understand if they're coming from other communities, but other communities, like she said, are charging for this. And, so I started doing the math, because I like numbers, and I'm a little warped. So, I mean, they're charging $45 for non-residents for 6 weeks.
yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna charge 10. And if I charge them 4, I'm still charging nothing
right,
compared to the Exeter is charging $45 and $22.50 for 6 weeks.
yep.
So they're still paying cheaper than us.
Mhm.
I mean, we're the cheapest in there.
Yep.
And we're paying her. How much are we paying her?
She's $50 a week. So,
So $50 a week. I'm not making $50 a week.
Yeah.
But we're still paying her, which means I'm losing money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple math. And I had this talk with you last year over the fields.
Yep.
Cost you $16,000 to maintain the fields and you made $13,000. I'm closing your doors. You're out of business. I'm shutting you down. I'm not subsidizing you. Make it make sense. It needs to pay for itself.
Yep.
Jason, I emailed the Exeter Hospital grant program during the meeting, and I've copied you on, so we'll see what they say.
Okay, I know I had reached out to, probably been a couple weeks now since summer camp's been full send, but I know I reached out at some point too. One other quick question I have as a follow-up on this. I think it's a great temporary solution for the people who have already paid for their current program.
Just give them the punch card for their,
Yeah,
and then keep track that whether we're gonna keep it for when we start charging, or if we're gonna refund it.
Okay. Okay. Well, like,
Or
there's
do
some
you-
non-residents that paid $50 already, so that's a lot of punches. at
So do you
$2.
want to refund, just keep the 5 weeks?
it might
I
be
mean-
easier to do that because.
I would recommend that you refund their money,
Yep,
or ask them if they want to make a donation or if they want to use it towards future services. But let them know that the price might change.
yeah,
Currently, this is what they're locked in at.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the big thing for me is if it's a 12-week class and 3 weeks are done, and just keep in mind the 22 down to 10, like the program, that has to be something to do with the money. And I might sit here and go, $25 isn't a lot, but to some people, $25 might be a lot. 22 to 25 people down to 10, 9, and 6 is just like, there's 15 people that are missing out on something good. And I've always been wanting to help them. So I hear you about wanting to make money, but it's like, they're not costing us that much.
Well, they're
is-
not
is
trying to
the
make
reality
money,
of it.
they're trying to cover the costs, and then, but I
She's
do.
costing us $600.
I
So
hear
if
you,
can make
but
$600.
I feel like
I'm
she
okay
was
with
done a little bit wrong, honestly. When she comes up and says, this went into play without me being here, like, I hear that and goes like, if I was her, I'd be a little upset. She's been here for 10 years, she's been building out something. Has she gotten a great deal? I would say, yeah. But she is willing to work with us. So for me, I think you ought to just build a solution for the 8 weeks that are left in the 12-week program. So, and then you have a new director coming in, and then, hey, you're gonna have to piece something else together. But I would try to make that group happy for 8 weeks and get people back so she can have 20 and be like, hey, everybody, we wanna stay together, what can we do? I don't have the answer, that's just how I would look at it. It's not gonna cost us a ton of money to get back to 20 to 25 people so that she can be like, all right, everybody, We got 8 more weeks, and then the fund might be over for some after that. But
But then it's 16.
No offense, but $2 is cheaper than
I
any coffee
agree.
I buy.
I agree, but that dollar, Bob, was enough to take it from 22 down to 10. Like, I asked her, was money the reason? So 12 people, like, $25 is too
No,
much for
it
me.
was the-
Well, that's why I'm here on rec, is to try and help those people.
But it's 50 for the
For the
out,
out of
and it's
town.
the out-of-towners, I think, who aren't
And the
coming back.
majority of them are out of town. So
Right.
if you're saying I'm gonna charge you $10, we're gonna look at this, $2 a class. It doesn't matter if you're a resident or non-resident, I'm gonna charge you $10.
Yeah.
For the next 6 weeks. It gives me a month and a half to evaluate. And by then, you guys are meeting again.
If that's your answer, I think that's
What if
okay.
we
Do
do
they
the-
want to pay $2 per class? Then you just, now all of a sudden, this is a pain. This is gonna be difficult. She's collecting $2, so.
That's
Well,
what, yeah,
that's
we're
what
doing
we-
5
So-
weeks.
Just do the $10.
What if we do
No, you
10,
do
yeah, $10, but it's 6 weeks, so you buy 5, you
buy
get
five,
one
you get
free.
one free.
So,
in
but it's still
reality,
$10, which
it's
makes it
$10.
easy.
So if I take that and I go 10, 6, it's costing them $1.66 per class.
Per class.
And
That's
$10,
pretty
15
cheap.
people that they lost.
That's
We're looking at like
half of
32
my
bucks.
coffee
There
a
it is.
day.
It's already paid for.
it's trying to meet people. Yep. And you give back the 50, you're giving people back 40. Maybe out of the goodness of their heart, they say, hey, I'll sponsor you and give you the $10,
They can do that too.
right, to somebody else. Maybe you encourage the donation of that for somebody who can't pay the $10. I'm just here advocating for somebody who can't pay for the
How many people's money have
$10.
already been
I
collected?
think I have about 1,000 people.
So some of those are the 25, some of those are the 50.
I think there's majority,
So-
probably pretty close to half and half.
Yeah.
probably.
Okay, that's not an insurmountable amount to,
Yeah,
okay.
it's easy enough to refund stuff. I mean,
You make a
do it-
line.
you do it all the time when you were doing
Yeah.
checks and we're refunding
Sure.
people's deposits on the. It's easy enough. And then you might have some people that say, yeah, I'm fine with leaving that money there because it's gonna help somebody else. And ultimately, it doesn't matter to me how, I'm make sure I'm balancing it.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that $600 is what we're paying. $600 is what I need to make in order to substantiate the program. If she has 25 people, that means there are $2 makes my $50. I just broke even.
Yeah.
But if she has 6 people and I'm paying her 50, I'm still hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
And if 60 to 70% of the people from out of town, technically they should be paying $4
Right.
Mm-hmm.
because I need to justify, because I still have to run the facilities. I still have to have somebody go over and let them in. I still have to do all that
Payback
stuff.
money.
It's costing me money even if I'm breaking even
Yeah.
at $2.
Yep.
I just think that's a smart way to go. And ultimately, life is business. Nobody's paying my mortgage for free. Nobody's been paying my cars for free. And nobody was buying my gas. And nobody's offering to buy my coffee all the time. And heck knows I drink a lot of it.
But I also think that for people in need, there is a way to subsidize it. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think sponsorships, and I think a grant. And we did it for the camp. We brought in $5,000 in scholarship money for camp. So,
Yeah.
but I don't think there's anything wrong, and I stand by what Nick wanted to do, is cover the costs of the programs and our expenses.
Yep.
Because again, and Bob and I both said this, our program is more than what we pay for the specific
Yes.
program. There's
Yep.
an inherent cost for the property and the building and the
Yep.
utilities, and all that goes into your programming. And we should be, and other organizations do this for a reason, we should be funding ourselves properly
Mm-hmm.
into our account. And we can't look at it as like it's free money, because it's not free money, it's what pays the bills.
Yep.
And if we're able to secure grants and stuff like that, I mean, that just helps us build.
Yeah.
You know, that just lets us, if we know we're covering costs by just
Yeah.
running the program, that those grants
Yep.
and stuff will help.
And they're
keep
there
that
for
cost
those who
at where
can't
it's at,
pay for it.
And we can start building off of
Yep.
it further.
Yep. Totally agree.
So Bob has a suggestion out there. Can I have a motion so I know I have the commission's support on this?
We're gonna refund the
Motion.
money.
Yeah.
Charge $10 to anybody else that wants to continue for the next 6 weeks.
Yep.
So it pays for 5 weeks, but they get one for
Plus
free.
They get for one. Yep.
And create the punch card in-house.
Yep.
I second it.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a motion.
Thank you. Yes, it was. Yes.
Okay.
All
All in
those
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you all. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. I am
They
going
only had 10
to,
people show up and 50% were from town and 50% were out of town. With Nick's structure, it would have come out to $625. You're still not breaking even if you had 10 people. So that's the math.
Amazing.
Math is math.
Yeah, it's just a delivery. When you have the messaging being communicated, when
I
she's
would-
not available, and then you have the class going from 22 down to 9, somebody made an error somewhere.
I would have
Is all I'm
loved to have
saying.
seen.
We can move forward, but somebody made
I
an error
would've-
somewhere. They're
you-
unhappy.
you might-
8 people showing up to
You
the
might
meeting,
have-
they're unhappy.
They could have went, the other thing too is they could get sponsors for it, right? So I could go down to Market Basket or Walmart and they might donate. Or
Absolutely.
Michael's might donate because they service a lot of people that want to sit there and knit, right? So, or whatever they want to do, crafts and stuff like that. Like when you guys have a lot of craft stuff, that's, Michael's, I'm sure would donate some of the stuff for crafts. It's just looking at your resources that are around you. And I know I've donated a ton of stuff and a lot of money and a lot of time. So over the years. So, but if no one asks me, you know what the saying is, don't ask, don't get, right? So.
And just so
Start
we know,
asking.
Nick isn't here to tell us his side of what happened, so I'm cautious about saying
Yep.
someone was done dirty. I mean, it's unfortunate she was away, but I just would be,
It's
but
just
Nick's not,
terminology.
I know.
Someone went
there was a
awry, in my
miscommunication,
opinion.
but
I
Nick
could be
isn't here to
wrong.
talk about it, so I'm cautious.
Yep. I'm going to make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Second?
Non-negotiable, all in favor, aye.
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 To
Have a
go-
good-
Bye.
To go on the longest one.